But I do believe that the legacy question should be discussed early on. So it's a consideration for people that they should be thinking about it. But I think it comes naturally to people a little bit later. Once they've had a bit more success, they start to realize that maybe it's not just about me and how much more can I really do for myself. And maybe there is a give back side to this. So again, it's really interesting because I found that, people just generally speaking under 40, they don't really think about legacy. They know what it means, but they don't really think about it. But then when you get, into your 40s, then you don't think so much about goal achievement. You think more about legacy creation. It's sort of interesting how that kind of inverts itself somewhere in the, mid to late 40s or the early 50s, et cetera. So, I'm a big fan because I want to say something, if I can, Vinay, about that, is that, quite honestly, I was dying from a poisoning about 20 years ago, and, I didn't want to die, but I understand that some people do die just the way it is, and I was so sad. It's like, man, I don't want to die. And I was just acutely aware that the only thing I was going to leave people is what I gave them. And the only thing I was going to take with me is what I gave people. Mm-hmm. And that kind of changed, my legacy question in a very significant and profound way. And, all of us do carry with us an immortality potential. And part of our immortality is what we leave behind as a legacy. And the legacy can either be a showcase for other people as to what to do. And in this day and age, there's no shortage of need for good examples of people that have lived vital lives of value and contribution. Or it could be a case study of what not to do, like my dad. My dad died homeless on the streets in New York City as a genius. The last time I saw him was 13. So his legacy is like, hey, don't do this, because don't do what I did, and that's tragic for me as a person to say that, but that's real. And it's like, when we get to the end of the line, there are no redos. We can't go back and rewrite it. Mm-hmm. It's like it's done. And I feel that lives on in the human archive for all of eternity to look at and observe and discuss what we did with our time and our talent. And I do believe that, winning and achievement is important because it shows a respect for the opportunity. If we step into it, I feel that if we don't step into it, we're turning our back on what we're called to do. Every time we succeed, it says thank you to our family, our friends, our benefactors, our mentors, our coaches, and all the people that have helped us along the way. That's the best way that we can say thank you to them. But perhaps the most important reason why success and winning and achievement is necessary is because it shows other people what's possible. And for me, if we don't step into that, then we're not honoring why we're here on this planet, is to showcase the best of what we got, to demonstrate what humanity's truly capable of. And if we descend into levels of mediocrity, we live lives then of terminal frustration because we're not able to access or contribute or manifest why we're here on this planet. And so again, for me to be mindful of the fact that because of the internet and because of electronic information storage, our story is going to be on view for all of eternity. Yeah. And what is it that we want that to say? And I believe personally that we have to live an honorable life of contribution and value. It takes a while to get there, but we have to look back over the legacy and say to ourselves that we stepped into the calling faithfully. We took our bumps along the way just like everybody else, but at the end of the day, we showed up in service to other people, and we created something to showcase to other people, something that they can emulate to create a life of passion, purpose, productivity, and also prosperity for themselves.